screwing around with Wasp. Trying to get back to where we left off.
So,
alright, we got the bushings fitted up.
yeah.
We just got done cleaning the crap off. Went to find the gasket. So these are both gaskets that are for the application. So you can see how this one here fits on really nice, except for it doesn't do anything about that hole. And if you look right through here, it's real close on that edge here for sealing, but there's a little bit. So there's 2 or 3 different style gaskets out there. This here is the other one, same application, 52 to 81. But see, this one here is made correctly. It has all the holes in it. So this one's actually made for a 900 motor. Whereas this other one, it's made for a 70s 1000 motor. Cone motor. It's a distributor motor. So when you buy gaskets, you got to kind of pay attention. And you notice how this one here is completely plugged up the hole. It's not just a little bit, it's plugged. And you look over here, they have a slot over here. It's the same thing. We have all these holes are being used on this early motor. So every place there's a hole, we have a full gasket around it. So this is the gasket that we're going to use for our setting up the cam cover. Alright, now this is our number 2 bush. It was really loose before. So now you go down, you don't really hear any play really. There's just right there. It's about 1.5 thou going by the reamer size. So there's our rock. This here is our other one. Same thing, it goes in relatively tight. It turns freely. And this one has very little rock to it. So. Number 3. And number 1. You can see how they all turn relatively good. There's a tight spot right here. See the teeth have tightness there. So I gotta put this on the motor and see what we got. Here's our pinion shaft. See it goes in there. A little clearance. The more clearance I want, it spins freely. It doesn't have that binding like it did before. These shafts are actually undersized, that's why it's so loose. There's our last gear. Okay, so we know these all fit on there relatively decently. So now we go ahead and put it onto the cam cover. Into the case and see how it fits with the gasket on it. You gotta put all the parts in. Roughly put the cam in the right spot. It don't have to be perfect, but if you get them in the same teeth they're going to be running on, you get real world numbers. Hanging up on one gear. There it goes. Alright. That's pretty close to where it's going to be. This one's off a tooth. Looks better. I'd be surprised if I could actually turn this after we put it on, but I'm going to just check it. There's a bunch of holes. So easy to cover one down. That's a good sign. Turn it with my computer. It's tight teeth on there. Pops up. Definitely notchy teeth. Okay, we'll go ahead and put a couple screws in here and see what it does. Yeah, dripping with sweat. Playing with the wasps makes you hot. So. Overheated. Couldn't have been a sweater and jacket I had on last hour.
Like 100-degree weather.
Ah,
Southern.
80s
80s.
with humidity. Trying to get that good southern weather going.
Yeah.
At least they're not flying in here just trying to sting us like they were earlier.
I know.
We confused them for a few hours. Okay. Okay, see how the cam wheel goes back and forth? There is drag on it, but it's going back and forth. Get over here and see this one. Hear it?
Yeah.
That's a lot freer, so nice and smooth. These two have light tension on them. Yeah, these all three have about the same tension. This one here is nice and free like it should be. Not quite enough to where it just falls, but close to it. You just barely touch it, it falls. That's how it should be. The Andrews teeth are tight. See, I'm working the cams with a right here.
Mm-hmm.
See how they get notchy there places? They're fairly loose right through here, so. Three. Still three. So these two here are the most tight. Not real tight, but they're real tight. So it's tighter than I want them to be, but they'll break in. It's going to make a little noise for a few hundred miles until the gear teeth settle down. If you put lapping compound here and spin them up for a long time, you can lap them in, they'd be almost perfect. But that'd be a lot of work. The biggest thing is I can just do it. I'm not really working that hard to do this. So. If I had to really fight to do something, I'd do something else. But this is I'm not really working hard. And we have no oil on anything either. So, but this gasket is tight. So I'm happy with that. Where's your rag at? Scratch up your show finish cam cover there. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and check the pinion bearings on this and see what it looks like on here. What we got to work with. So I'm going to go find the cage equipment there. Cage. So what I do is I stack these up in here in the cage. On a flat surface you can do this. There's nothing holding these rollers in except gravity. Now we didn't fit any of this. This is how your motor was rebuilt before, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So that one fell out. Damn it. There it goes. Alright, we're mounted. There's a hammer when you need it. Obviously that ain't the right position either. There we go. Kind of. First you gotta do is see if the bearing's close. See how loose that one is. About the same fit. Come on, get out of the damn hole. Alright. See a little bit of binding. That's what I don't like seeing. That's not good. I like this shaft a lot better than this shaft. I think we'll go with this one.
Yeah.
See the difference?
Yeah.
Something's different about that shaft. I don't know if it's bent or whatever it is, it don't matter. It was not a happy camper. This one here spins nice and free, just like it's supposed to. Alright. And these bearings are relatively loose here, too. So great for high RPM work. Alright, so we fitted all that stuff. We'll check that out. Let's check our shift shaft while we're at it. We already did this before. Double check it. This was all done when we rebuilt the tranny. So it goes right in, works free. Now we were fitting up new bushings here. This would all have to be fitted right now, because this bushing has to line up with the bushing inside the case. And this one has almost no clearance in it, but it's nice and free. See, it has almost no clearance.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very free, no drag at all. So this is all stuff you gotta check. Next thing we gotta check is the main shaft bushing in here. Make sure it feels good. Go ahead and let this lay on the ground. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in there real quick. These we're going to have to put in with grease. There's no other way of holding these in to see what we got for clearances. So this is all just double checking it to make sure it's still good, because all this was put together before. Because I put bearings in here before, I think last time I went through here.
Mm-hmm.
On the first go around on fixing the training.
Yeah.
That one only lasted about, what, 100 miles you said?
Well, nothing wrong with the tranny. It's just everything else. I mean,
Well, the training was only good for about 100 miles, wasn't it? Or did you even get that much?
yeah, like 120 or something.
Yeah.
But, no, it was like everything else. Because that's all we touched last time was just the tranny. Because that was the problem. It wouldn't shift out of first.
Yeah, I fixed the training.
Yeah, we went in there and someone had rebuilt a lot of good parts, but they didn't know what the hell they were doing. And they put shit in there wrong.
What a shopper.
And then, of course, a brand new part. Some of them got fucked up. Or messed up.
Same difference.
Beep.
Beep,
Beeped up.
That was beeped.
And, you know, but I was stubborn. I was like, no, just do the transmission. What we should have done the first time, I should have, because you were like, well, you want to do the whole thing? And I was like, no,
No, you.
I want to be cheap. Just do the transmission, because that's the only thing wrong. But of course,
Well.
the whole thing had a, you know, complete overhaul. And that's what you get for buying a transmission off of Craigslist. Craigslist special. The guy in the ad was, you know, he said it was a running motor. He just failed to mention that didn't run too well. It was hurting.
There is our thrust washer I cleaned, I thought.
It might be on that table back there.
Yeah, it probably is. Yep. Put that right there as a stop. And this is our main shaft here. Definitely is not tight. So if we want, we can try oversized bearings on this. Because I just went with what was in there before. Pretty loose. So, good for a race bike. It's up to you. It'll run the way it is. Okay, we'll see if we want to change that out. Other than that, all this stuff looks to be fitted. So I'm ready to move on to the crank, get these rods fitted up.